Hello, family. It's another seasonal moment to be among you. I have brought a new news to you that will be very interesting to hear. It's again to hit the share button, hit the comment section, hit the like button. Please don't forget to drop your comment after you might have listened to this lucrative information. If there's any question, make sure you ask. We are eager to give you a feedback. Greetings from the Royal Studio. I am Prophet Joel Atuma. You need to hear this. It's a relationship talk, and very, very important for you to bring to understanding what you need to do when things like this are occurring. I have identified as a servant of God that a lot of times there has been a contradiction in the place of love. And so we are going to be looking at why relationships don't work. One of the critical reasons why relationships don't work is because of the healing process. And that is why we are here. So if you have anybody going through relationships, a crisis, divorce sections, separation sections, is the right time to call the person. The person needs to join us. Share, and share. Please keep sharing and keep sharing. Keep dropping your comment on the comment section. Please, we want to have a feedback on the audio and the visual so that we can serve you better the next time. Once again, you are welcome. Now, when you look at the process called relationship, you will understand it is two shifts that are related. So when you look at the issue between relationships, you will get to understand that it is shifts that are relating. There is a relationship between two shifts. That is why we will always say the shifts are moving. Now, when the shifts are moving, it is always lucrative. But let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. The healing process. The moment the word healing comes to your head, then it means you need a specialist. Someone who understands the nature. For example, the doctor. When you go to the doctor, you are going to someone who understands the interpretations because your blood is actually speaking. Now, what your blood is speaking could be different from what you are saying. You could go to the hospital and then they ask you, what did you come for? Just say you came to see the doctor. Doctor, so let's run a test on you and know how you are feeling. You say, I'm perfectly okay. And then you are sure that you are strong. All your systems are working. All your organs are functioning as normal. And then a test is conducted. Maybe using your blood or any semen that comes from you. And then your blood begins to give another information that you are not, as you used to think. Which one is the doctor going to pick? Is it your voice or the statement from your blood? Of course, the doctor is going to pick the analysis from your blood because your blood is telling the truth more than your voice. And so the moment you begin to hear that voice speak and the voice is contradicting the state of the heart, you need a doctor. And that is what we are going to be looking at today, because that is the reason why there are divorce cases. That is the reason why marriages are not working. That is the reason why separations are very easy. That is the reason why relationships are not growing. Come to think of it, it's difficult to meet someone who hasn't gone through a breakup. Like they've not served you the hot tea in the morning. It's very difficult and rare in our moments to find such a person. And the reason is simply because there's a lot of rancors and diversifications of entities and different cultural backgrounds, families, and the upbringings to different individuals who might not align with your way of acting. Now, when you look at this critically, you will know that there is a need for a healing process. Now, when you go to the altar, having dated or been in a relationship with 5 persons, I want you to know that it was not just your physical person that was involved in the relationship. Your soul was involved. Your spirit was also involved in that particular relationship. And if there is no proper healing process that your soul, spirit, and body undergoes for a complete healing, what you have is a deformed person. And when you take the deformed person into the relationship, you are not likely to be successful. You need to understand this, that when you go to the altar and you say I do, it was not really you saying I do. That is, everybody you've dated, let's say that is James, that is John, that is all kind of names, the people you've been in a relationship with, Patrick, Stephen was there in that, oath taking. Isaac was there, Patrick was there, James and John, they were all there. And you think you are the only one that said I do. No, that is a we do. And of course, you know that the strength of the man is going to overshadow you, even in marriage. Some of the times you say, I'm not going to cheat on my husband, I'm not going to cheat on my wife, I'm going to be faithful. And then the we do said we are not going to be faithful. You are going to find yourself doing what you don't want to do. The reason is because you've not gone through the process of a total emotional, physical, and spiritual separation between the person. The soulish tie has been established, so there needs to be time taken to also heal yourself. Now, when that does not happen, you are not alone in that relationship. There is always the we behind the I, and whenever the we is against the I is going to fail. So the moment the relationship is broken, it's not a time to move to the other one. Now, there is a lot of mistakes that we do. The moment you're out of a relationship, you jump into another one and you use another person to heal a previous wound that is in existence. That's a wrong application. Because you are never going to be healing. What you're going to be doing is moving forward with a damaged soul, body, and spirit. And then along the road, you will discover that you are not really healed of the previous relationship. Why and how? Now, this person does something that, can be traced into a relationship with the previous relationship you have had. And the moment you find that happening, you can now begin to tell the person, this was what James did, this was what Patrick did, this was what Stephen did. It means that the seat of information, which is your soul, still retains in your subconscious the environment and the experiences that they had in their previous relationships. And so they are giving you a feedback, and before you know it, you begin to believe, you begin to think and act towards previous reactions, because your mind has been trained to retain information, and one of the responsibilities of the brain is to remember and retain. And the moment the brain remembers and retains, they give and produce an impulse. That impulse is to block you from receiving the same hurt you felt in the previous breakup. Now, what happens is that they build a shield around your emotions, and then they lock you out from feeling the pain. And immediately you are locked out from feeling the pain. Child of God, do I need to tell you, you are also locked out from receiving the pleasures of the relationship? Yes, you are protected from the pain, but also you have been denied access to the pleasure. Because for you to enjoy your relationship, you need to come to a state of vulnerability, where you can now allow the other person to determine your joy, your peace and all that, because you are giving the person a license to your inner chamber. And not just about that, if you don't, you've locked the person out from the pain, so that no matter what happens, somebody will say, be careful, be careful in a relationship, make sure your eyes is open, be wise, make use of your senses. And all those statements are just connoting the fact that you should be protective about your heart. And the moment you become protective, you lock yourself out of the pain. So even if there is a breakup, you don't feel it. But also, when you are locking yourself out of the pain, you've also locked yourself out of the pleasure, because you have thrown away the pathway of that progress, which is vulnerability. And until you become vulnerable and become, I want to use the word unsettled truths. There are some truths that are unsettling, that the moment those truths are revealed, you risk being unsettled by your partner. And until you come to the place of being able to reveal your dark secret to the person you are involved with, then of course you are going to find yourself fighting over those periods, except you have been able to prove this person you are involved with and he cannot handle the quantity, the quality of the information. Because being vulnerable in a relationship, you will also need to test the ability, and the strength of the person in receiving this information and being able to assimilate them, process them, and it does not bring rancor. So most of the times you are being protective because you are not healed from your previous relationship. You can still, you are staying with the new person now, but you are always talking about the previous person. It's telling you that there are some electrostatic force of attraction that have been established in your previous relationship that is still in existence. The bond that you established with the person is still in existence, and then you are not moving forward. It's telling you that you need a healing process. And so when you jump out of a relationship, you're not just jumping into another one because there is someone available. No, you have to take your time to ask yourself a few questions. How did I get to the point of breakup? Because when you entered it was all rosy. It was all goosey, you were so happy. Your heart was on fire. You can even use your school fees and, take care of the person and all that. Steal your mother's jewelry and all that to give the person as a birthday gift so that you can belong. But, now the relationship has gone haywire and you are finding yourself in the place of dismay. You have to ask yourself a question. How did I get here? How were you involved in this? The what question of what brought me to the point of the breakup. How did I get to the point of the breakup? When did I get to the point of the breakup? So you need to understand the pathway that brought you to that place. Then in that place, you now begin to heal. Healing means you are finding yourself. Now, hear me, child of God. Most of the times, before your breakup, I call it separation, you tend to run away from the relationship so that you can heal. No. The best form of healing is inside of that relationship. You can't go into a marriage with yourself and you are coming out without yourself. You are losing. You are losing big time. So you need to stay back in the marriage. Figure out what is going on. Find yourself in the marriage. So that when you are leaving eventually, you must leave. You are living with yourself complete. Because if you live with yourself partly, it's going to affect your next relationship, because there is a part of you that you left in that particular previous relationship that you are going to be needing in the next relationship. So you must make sure that the way you entered, you are living the same way. If you entered there with 100%, make sure you live there with 100%. So how do you do that? You need to now begin to process all these things I have said, the what, the where, and the if, the how. When you have found out all what is going on, you discover yourself back in the relationship. Let the person know you are not living out with pain. You are living out with pleasures. And the pleasure is going to be that you have learned something from a relationship that you are going to make use of to make yourself better. So you must be sure that when you are leaving a relationship and moving to another relationship, that you are going to be a better person to the person that is going to meet you. The quality and the version of yourself has to be improved. So you don't want to come out shattered, battered, haggard, and abandoned. No. You must be coming out in a way where you are in better shape, you are in better state of heart, you are in better state of mind to meet the next person. So that what the person is receiving is not just a relationship, but also a gift. So the healing process must be conducted. Now, how do you conduct this healing process? Number one is, that is the time to date yourself. When you come out from a dating process or a relationship, it's the time to be in relationship with yourself. You need to begin to ask yourself in meditations, in prayers, in study. You begin to find out where you make mistakes, where you are strong, your strong area and your weakness point. Now, when you have discovered that, you'll now begin to build on your weaknesses and then on your strengths, so that you can be a full package in the next relationship. Now, when you are doing that and people are bringing in proposal, it's not a time to answer, because you don't know yourself yet, and then you need that healing to be complete. Then you know yourself, you'll understand yourself better, so that when you can want to introduce yourself to the next person, the line of statement you are going to be using is going to be more assured than the previous one. So the pathway to conviction must be clear, and there must be clarity of voice in your passing your information about yourself to this individual. So when you are in a relationship with yourself, now you know yourself better, you trust yourself better, you understand yourself better, you have the confidence and the belief. Now that is the time because now you have understanding of yourself and you know what you are supposed to be doing. You have purpose. Now you are going to be looking for someone who is going to help you in fulfilling your purpose. That is to show you have healed. So one of the litmus tests in you knowing whether you have been healed or not is, how do you feel when you find this person that you are dating before? How do you look at him? How do you relate with him? The moment you find this person and there is jittering, there is envy, there is bitterness, there is pain, that is ensuing from your heart, that is an indication that you are not yet healed. And of course, it's not the time to get into another relationship, because you are going to inflict a pain that someone does not know about. Now, on that person, because the person was not aware of what you went through in your relationship, and then it makes the person very difficult to understand you, because you are a damaged person, not your real yourself. Now, you are asking yourself, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me is that you have not been completely healed from the previous relationship. And so there are dichotomies of issues that are going on within yourself, and you don't know who your real self is. Now, but the moment you see the person, you laugh with the person, how are you doing? And sincerely so. How are you doing? How is your life going on? How have you been able to move forward and you're improving? And now there is no grudges, there is no pain whatsoever. Now it means you've been completely healed from the person. Your emotions are back to you. You now have your better self to move into the next line of action. Now you can get into a relationship. But before that, it is not advisable. Now there are things that will help you in the healing process. Number one is knowing that you are not a failure. No matter what happens in the relationship didn't fail. You only learned, and you need to move forward. Now you need to understand that where you are going to is higher than where you were. And so what do you need to do is to build yourself. When you have the understanding that the relationship did not fail, it didn't just work, then you will have a better way of getting into the next relationship with a higher expectation, whereby you have built yourself to a better form. Now, number two, for you to understand that the healing process is going on, is the point where you now know that, okay, the things I thought I understood and I believed in, there were places that are missing some vital information. I need to go back, and revisit myself. So you go back to the drawing board. It's a time for study, knowing that, okay, now I need to study more about myself, understand myself better. There are things I felt that, okay, I knew, because you judge this person before you accepted the person. The proposal didn't just come and out of the blue you said yes. No, you have to satisfy some certain things. The love quotient, do you believe in this person, the physical appearance and all that. You put those things in place, and then you were able to say, okay, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person. Now, when that relationship does not work, it means that your criteria for the judgment has some loopholes. So you need to go back to the map where you made those decisions and begin to look at it and say, okay, what do I want moving forward? That question of what do I want moving forward must be answered, and it must be clarified. There must be the definition of intention for your relationship. Now, when you're getting into a relationship, what is the clear terms of what is my intention? What do I want out of this relationship? Now, your intention will now help you to define your criteria before you can say the yes or the no. Now, you also need to understand that love is costly. Love is costly. The love that is not costly is the love that you have blocked out the pain and the pleasure out of. Because it's not actually easy to lose someone. So there needs to be a clear definition of your intention, of what you want in that relationship. Number two, you need to understand that you are not in the relationship for the person. You are in the relationship for yourself. And so you are not going there to become what you are not. You are in the relationship for yourself first. You are the first benefactor, the first person that should begin to enjoy and benefit for the relationship should be you. And once that is not happening, then of course, you're in the wrong platform of relationship. So you need to know that you are the first benefactor of the relationship. And so what do? You need to understand, what am I to gain? What am I going to, you understand your gain processes, because you have to know what is in it for you. Now, when you understand what is in it for you, it will help your healing process. Now, the next thing you are going to do when you are out of the relationship is to analyze the person you are in a relationship with, categorize the person, classify the person, and define the person. When you have done all that, the classification, the definitions of terms, trying to define who this person you have dated is, then you will now begin to phantom the strengths and the weaknesses of this person. When you have understood the strengths and the weakness of this person, you will now begin to make a better decision for yourself. Now, when you have done successfully that, you will now know where you missed it with this person in the relationship. And then you can now say, okay, if I have missed it with this person, probably because he was fat and he has a lot of body and he's putting on a lot of flesh. Now, that's the definition of this person physically. Now, you can now begin to know that in your healing process, you will now begin to phantom that the next person you are going to meet has to be in this shape of body. So it gives you the encouragement, it gives you the help that you need for you to heal properly in the relationship. Now, the healing process is very, very important. Don't overlook it, please. Make sure that you heal properly. Make sure you heal properly. Take yourself out. Those things that he used to do, those things she used to do for you that makes you happy, feel beloved, and feel loved and all that, the ecstasies of what he was doing for you, you need to understand, you need to do those things for yourself during the healing process. This is going to help you not to miss the person so much. It's also going to help you to recover fast. So there is nothing at all that you need to cry about. The healing process in the relationship, when broken, is very, very important. Remember, sewing new clothes is easier than amendment. I want to let you know that it is very important for you to conduct a complete healing process so that the next relationship will be worthwhile. Till next time, I love you so much. God bless you.